Blake Lively's lawyers never cease to amaze us, even if they have to take 5 pages or 10 pages to ask the exact same question, hoping Jamey Heath will slip up. Good enough, Jamey doesn't slip up because, like I say, the man is steadfast. Our favorite co-host, Carol, is back to help us get through the depositions. I'm back from whatever we're calling this. If it was a health leave, a break, I don't know what it is. So you forgive me for catching up with my voice, but grab a snack, grab a drink, grab some tea if you're me, and meet us on the other side. We have some depositions to catch up on. F around and find out. Hello there, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of F Around and Find Out. I'm your host, Elsie, with a slightly deeper voice, but you understand that. I'm here with our co-host, Carol. Carol, we love you. Thanks for joining us again.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, if Carol is here, we have depositions, we have some back-to-back conversations between a lawyer and somebody. And today we have Jamey Heath's deposition. Mm-hmm. And Carol has been working diligently on her website, docketupdates.com. A lot of you know that's where you can go to get your updates if you can't get it from me or anybody else. But Carol is also motivating herself to come on YouTube. So she's going to start posting things on here. Is that right?
I'm trying to, yes. I have like one video I can upload and, I think I overthink it a lot.
I know. That's what I'm telling you. You need to stop doing that part. But she just added a buy me a coffee, which we pretty much twisted her arm behind her back to do. So it is officially on her website, docketupdates.com. You can go buy her coffee anywhere from, Carol, what does it range from? Like $5?
I just put 1, 2, and 3, I think, or 1, 2, and 5. It was like a default option.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. $1, $2, $3. Because Carol, when she gets the documents from Pacer, she has to pay money to get it oftentimes. And, we're not helping her pay that. She's doing this out of pocket. So please, if you can support Carol, do that on Buy Me a Coffee. She appreciates it. I appreciate it. But without further ado, Carol, let's get into it because Jamey's deposition got hot. So good. And I love that about him. I love that he knows himself enough to not go away from the program. Yeah. Yes. He's very, very self-assured, and I love that about him. So the subject of testimony with your attorneys during your break, Ms. Shapiro says, I direct you not to answer any questions about your discussions with your attorney. Are you following that instruction?
Yes.
Okay. And hand you Exhibit 16. Exhibit 16 is marked for identification.
Sure.
Exhibit 16 is a text chain from between Jamey Heath and Mitch Tuscovich, dated June 17th, 2024, Bates stamp Tuscovich 677. Do you recognize this as a text chain between you and Ms. Tuscovich?
Yes.
And you participated in this text communication with Ms. Tuscovich, correct?
Yes.
And you ask her in this text chain, you say you've got a big job for you. Do you see that at 3:14 p.m. on page 1?
I see it.
And then if you turn to the next page, you tell her as read, I need you to start putting a timeline doc. Try to get as close to dates as possible. We can fill in the links when I get back. But when Justin and Blake met to write, AJ maybe had in calendar. Can you access? When we shot the first karaoke scene, it's when I showed her the video of Tasha. When Ange visited the first time, had the quote makeup trailer convo that apparently looked at her, end quote. When she shot the graveyard scene, when Justin met with Trainer, when Justin had convo with Blake and Ryan regarding asking about her weight, when we had the convo, when we went back in Blake's house with Ange and Todd, essentially. Anything we can get, either the date and alleged incident or the general time frame on, and we can narrow in later. Something chronological, best you can. Consult with Reese where needed. The doc can have gaps, but at least let's get something started. And then you go on to say, as read, whatever you can remember, whatever Reese remembers, whatever AJ may remember, anything at all. Also, when we got a letter from Blake, just anything that tells the story chronologically, and then we would just continue to build it. Do you see that?
I do.
Okay, I'm going to give you another document now. What are we, Exhibit 17 and Exhibit 18? You asked Ms. Tuscovich to put together a timeline on June 17th, correct?
Are you referring to this document?
Yes.
I see that.
Okay, and Exhibit 17 is an email forward in a timeline. Do you see that?
I do.
And then Exhibit 18, I'll represent for the record, is the document that was produced to us that is reflected in the attachment to that email that says document produced in native format.
Can you repeat the last thing? Sorry,
Sure,
I was finishing 17.
sure. So Exhibit 17 is an email forwarding timeline. Do you see that?
I do.
Okay. And then it says on the second page of that email, produced in native format.
I do. Yes.
I'm representing to you that the native format that we received in the production from your lawyers is that document.
Okay.
Okay. Is this document Exhibit 18 the timeline that you asked Ms. Tuskovich to create?
It looks to be so.
Okay. Why did you ask Ms. Tuskovich to create a timeline on June 17th?
Just to have a timeline of our whole experience of the movie.
Your whole experience of the movie as it relates to Miss Lively.
Just the timeline of what we experienced throughout the movie. Yes.
For what purpose?
So that we could have a record of the last year and a half of what we have experienced.
Why?
There was a lot that went on over the year and a half on different levels, production and all levels. I just wanted to have a timeline of it.
Well, your text to Ms. Tuskovich doesn't say anything about things that happened during production in general, right? Objection from Shapiro.
Right. Uh-huh.
All of the things that are in your text message to Ms. Tuskovich relate to Miss Lively, correct? Objection
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, I see that in the text message. Yeah.
So why did you ask Ms. Tuskovich to create a timeline on June 17th, 2024 related to Miss Lively?
That was one of the aspects of our whole time on the movie, and I also wanted to include that.
Well, you didn't say reference anything else, correct? You only reference issues related to Miss Lively in your text messages to Ms. Tuskovich, correct? Objection again.
In this particular text message, that's all it speaks to.
Yeah, that's all you said when you asked Ms. Tuskovich to create a timeline, correct? Objection.
In this text message, that's what it refers to. Yes.
Do you have another text message? Objection.
I don't know.
Okay, well, my questions to you, Mr. Heath, is why you were asking Ms. Tuskovich to create a timeline that references events related to Miss Lively on June 17th, 2024?
Our experience of the movie at this point in June, we were unsure. Justin had lost the movie. I think by this point, we were dealing with a lot of conversations with Sony about how to navigate moving forward with him as the director. We've got the release of the movie coming up, and in all of this and being confused of where we stood with all of this, I just wanted to have a document just of our whole experience with the movie.
For what purpose?
Just so I could have a good recollection of it so that I knew what our last year and a half was.
Were you looking for a timeline of incidents related to Miss Lively's complaints? Objection.
No, not necessarily. I just wanted any experience that we had in all capacities to have a timeline.
Well, but the timeline doesn't address every experience that you had in all capacities, does it?
I haven't gone through the whole thing, but in all capacities, just in our experience, certainly I can see that, a lot of this is with Blake. So that was a big part of our experience.
Can we take a pause? Why wouldn't a lot of it be with Blake? Like, if you're Ezra Hudson, everything revolved around Blake. Blake made herself the wardrobe. Blake made herself a producer. Why wouldn't a lot of it be revolving around Blake? Like, why is that so shocking? Like, I don't understand the confusion.
Miss Hudson has a timeline of how complicated and complex Miss Blake was. So I think she answers her own questions.
It's ridiculous. Jesus. Well, that was a big part of your experience and incidents where Miss Blake or Miss Lively expressed concerns, correct? Objection again.
I would say it's exactly what I said it was.
Clock it, Jamey. Clock it, Jamey. Clock it. Jamey's like, I said what I said. I said what I said.
Like, stop trying to twist it.
Huh?
Stop trying to twist it. It's what
Exactly.
I said it was.
Like, I already said it. And the incidents that you identified to Ms. Tuskovich are incidents that you were aware that Ms. Lively had raised concerns of prior to June 17th, 2024, correct?
Can you repeat that, please?
The incidents that you raised to Ms. Tuskovich were incidents that you were aware of prior to June 17th, 2024, that Ms. Lively had raised concerns about, correct? Objection.
In this text message, it references some of those. Yes.
Yes. So you were aware of the incidents that you told Ms. Tuskovich about prior to June 17th, correct? Objection. What?
Was I aware? Yes, I was aware that Justin met with the trainer. I was aware about, he asked about the weight. I was aware of some of these things. Yes.
Well, you were aware of all of them because you wrote them down, right? Oh my God.
Yes.
And you wouldn't have been able to write them down if you weren't aware of all of them. No, stop. Is this line of questioning real? Okay, which one of these lists are not things that Miss Lively had raised concerns about that you were aware as of June 17th? Objection again.
Well, just as I go through it, when we shot the graveyard scene, when we had a meeting at Blake's home,
Why did you want to have a record of when you had a meeting at Blake's home?
it was one of those things that we'd experience on the movie.
Uh-huh. And when you said essentially anything we can get either the date and alleged incident, what did you mean by alleged incident?
I don't recall. I don't know.
Are you don't know what you meant by alleged incident?
I don't know exactly.
Okay, and did you have any further follow-up with Ms. Tuskovich about what you meant by alleged incident?
I don't know.
You don't know if you did,
I don't know.
but somehow from did you give her any direction beyond what you put in Exhibit 16?
I don't know.
How do you talk to Ms. Tuskovich about the alleged incidents before? Objection.
I don't recall.
Did you assume she understood what you meant by that? Objection.
I don't know what I meant by that, but I see that there's a list of things here that specifically asked her to. So, other than that, I don't know.
What I'm asking you, Mr. Heath, is did you have a belief that Ms. Tuskovich would understand that you meant what you meant by alleged incidents?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. I don't know what I meant by that.
Do you, is it Ms. Tuskovich that created the timeline in Exhibit 18?
Yes, she was. She assisted. Yes.
Who else was involved in creating this timeline?
Myself.
What did you do to create this timeline?
Just gave more info to what this is here, added to this timeline.
How much of the information in this timeline did you put in the timeline?
I don't know.
Anyway after at minimum
Oh,
August 6th?
it skips.
Oh yeah, it skips to 329. Anyway, after at minimum August 6th, 2024, correct? Objection.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't.
Okay, you have no recollection of making any changes to this timeline after August 2024, correct?
To this timeline,
Objection.
I don't have a recollection.
Okay, and you don't know, you didn't direct Ms. Tuskovich to make changes to this timeline after August 2024, correct?
I don't recall. I don't know.
Okay, why did you send the timeline or why did you have the timeline sent to, well, strike that. Do you know why the timeline was sent to the agency group?
To tag?
Yes.
I think at that point it was a quick way to give them a glimpse of a timeline of our experience.
Your experience with Miss Lively.
Our experience that was outlined in this timeline.
Your experience with Miss Lively.
That is part of it.
Okay. It was a way to give TAG a quick update or a summary of the alleged incident as you described them, correct? Objection.
I wouldn't characterize it as that. I just think it was a quick way to get a little bit of an update of some of the elements.
Some of the elements of issues that had arisen with Miss Lively, correct?
Of our experience of the set, and some that included experiences with Miss Lively, for sure.
And that's because you had retained tag at that point to help you with crisis management related to your concerns about Miss Lively potentially going public, correct?
And then it stops.
And then, so we jump to 356. I'm Jamey Heath now, and Carol is going to be the lawyer. A handful. I don't know exactly.
And do you recall any of those conversations with any specificity?
From our first conversation, he seemed like a really nice guy. I remember we talked about our kids, and he would just check in. How are you doing? He knew that there was a lot of social noise going on, and he was just oftentimes calling to express his, for lack of a better word, his love.
So, your conversations with Mr. Wallace after meeting him in August of 2024 were about his love for you?
Oh
And then
my God.
objection as by Shapiro. Mr. Glover also objects and says objection form.
And Jamie answers no.
When you say his love, what do you mean by that?
That's a term I would use to just express some nice words of encouragement. We see what's going on. We are monitoring. I hope you're well. Things of that nature.
Did he tell you what he saw going on?
We did not really get into it that much, other than him saying things like things are looking okay out there. So sorry for what's going on. He would give some general acknowledgments of that nature, but we didn't get into the weeds.
He didn't tell you what it was he saw?
I don't recall exactly what was said, but we did not get into the weeds of stuff.
So your testimony is that in the conversations that you had with Mr. Wallace, they were just check-ins essentially about your well-being. And then Shapiro says objection.
I mean, I'm looking at our text threads here. I appreciate this message. Congrats on a big weekend. I appreciate you. Looking forward to meeting you. Just checking in. That was typically, we connected.
You didn't have conversations about the work, though. Is that what you're saying? That you had contracted with Mr. Wallace to do for nearly 100,000? And then Shapiro objection, and then Mr. Glover objection for.
It would be like me having a conversation with somebody about a world in a language I just don't understand. That wasn't our conversation. It was just more we connected, and that was what our conversations were.
I'm trying to understand why you feel the world that Mr. Wallace occupied was something that you couldn't understand. Why is that? And Shapiro says objection.
I am not a digital monitoring person that understands social media and all of that. So
What did you understand digital monitoring to mean?
monitoring what was going on in the digital realm.
And weren't you curious about how Mr. Wallace did that?
It wasn't I didn't have a reason to be concerned about it or think about it beyond that. It was just he was here to help, and that's all. And that's all that mattered. He was just doing it in a way that I understood was aligned with us.
August 11, Mr. Wallace said, you refer to Signal. Do you see that?
Which one is that?
August 11th at 12:02 a.m.
Hey man, I appreciate your message. I could tell after speaking with you.
In the middle, you said, as read, as for Signal, I'm not on it, but we'll set that up this week for sure. I'll let you know once I have done that. Do you see that?
I do.
Did you set up Signal at that time, at this time?
I must have. I think I might. I think I did.
And did you let Mr. Wallace know that you had set it up?
I don't know.
Did you communicate with Mr. Wallace on Signal at this time after August 11, 2024?
I think there was a few messages sent.
And when did you first send Signal messages to Mr. Wallace?
I don't recall.
When did you first receive a Signal message from Mr. Wallace, if at all?
I don't recall. I guess it would have been around this time. That's my guess.
And did you communicate on Signal with anyone else after you obtained Signal?
I don't think so.
The only person,
There could have been somebody, but I don't think so.
the only one that you recall communicating with on Signal was Mr. Wallace. And Shapiro says objection.
The time, I don't remember. It could have been. I would have to refresh my memory. Maybe there was something with Jen and Melissa on there, but I don't have a specific memory of it.
Did you have a group chain with Mr. Wallace, Miss Abel, and Miss Nathan at this time?
I don't know if that was on Signal or text messages, but I think we did.
Do you think you did on Signal?
I don't know which one.
Shapiro says objection. You might have on Signal. And Shapiro says objection.
We may have. I think there may have been. I'm happy to be refreshed.
Other than Mr. Wallace and possibly Miss Nathan and Miss Abel, is there anyone else that you recall communicating with on Signal and in August of 2024? And Shapiro says objection.
I don't know the month. There was so many ways of communicating: email, phone, text messages. Signal could have been one of them. I just don't know.
So you may have communicated with other people on Signal in August of 2024, other than the ones you identify.
I don't have a particular recollection of it because I think that was the only people that I communicated with at the time, but I don't know.
Did you communicate with Mr. Friedman on Signal on August 2024?
I don't know.
You may have.
I don't know.
Did you communicate with Mr. Baldoni on Signal in August of 2024?
I don't know.
When you downloaded Signal, did you make any effort to change any of the settings for the handling of the preservation of messages?
In August?
When you downloaded Signal?
No.
Did the messages that you exchange on Signal in August of 2024 automatically disappear as far as you know? And Shapiro says objection.
I think that depends on whatever thread I was on. Whoever initiated it may have set that setting. I don't have any particular memory of myself setting something to disappear.
And did you set up your Signal messages so that they would not disappear?
In August?
Yes.
I don't believe I was thinking about that.
Did you communicate by Signal in September of 2024?
I may have.
And who do you believe you may have communicated with on Signal in September 2024?
It would be a guess. I just don't know.
Did you communicate with Mr. Wallace on Signal in September of 2024? Mr. Glover says objection form.
I may have.
Did you communicate with Miss Abel on Signal in September of 2024?
I may have.
Did you communicate with Miss Nathan on Signal in 2024?
I may have.
Did you communicate with Mr. Friedman on Signal in 2024 and in September of 2024?
I know for sure not.
And why do you know that one for sure?
Well, because I only had one conversation with Mr. Friedman.
On Signal?
No, I had one conversation with him I don't remember what month it was. Maybe it was in August.
Did you communicate with anyone on Signal in October of 2024?
I may have.
And did you communicate with Mr. Wallace on Signal in October of 2024?
It's the same. I may have. I don't have a particular recollection of it. I'm certainly not disputing that I would or would. I just don't have a memory. I mean, I don't know.
Do you have any memory of communicating with Mr. Wallace in November of 2024 on Signal?
I may have.
And I asked you about Mr. Wallace in October and November. In those months, did you communicate with Miss Nathan or Miss Abel on Signal? And Shapiro says objection.
I may have.
Did you communicate with anyone, any Wayfair employees on Signal between August and December 2024?
I don't know during that period of time.
You don't know, but you may have.
I don't have a memory of it during that time, no.
For any of the communications that you had on Signal between August and December 2024, do you have any of them still? And then Mr. Glover says objection form.
Okay, so we jump to October 9th, second day of depositions. We have new pages for here. All right.
Do you want to do Heath? Because he still has long questions.
That's fine. Yeah, I'll pick it up.
Okay.
I am.
Did you discuss with them, yes or no, what you were doing to testify about with respect to the answer to this, to that answer this morning? And Ms. Shapiro says, same objection and same instruction. And Ms. Shaw says, are you going to follow that instruction?
I think it's best.
Okay. I don't have the words right in front of me, but you did give me the correction that you wanted me to correct at the top of the testimony today. Would you explain that to me again? What it is about yesterday's testimony that you wanted to correct in today's testimony?
I think simply, as I was testifying as it pertains to 17-point list and my state of mind and how I viewed it, and reflecting, while of course I agreed that all of these things were reasonable things that anyone asked for, I think I also messaged that I may not have considered that some of these things had some a nod to how what may have been brought up in the past. And that's what I wanted to.
I see. So, am I understanding correctly that you were essentially asking what you were essentially saying? You think during the deposition yesterday, it may have appeared from your testimony that you were not leaving the room for the possibility that some of the things on the 17-point list related in some way to the past incidents. And that's the aspect of it that you wanted to expand on this morning. And Shapiro says, objection. Go ahead.
Not necessarily that it related or not, but that I had considered that could some of these things have some sort of nod, for lack of a better term, to what we had discussed in the past.
What you and Miss Lively and others had discussed in the past?
Yeah, some of those concerns that she may have spoken about.
Okay. And when you say the word nod, like it may have a nod to those things, do you mean reference or relatedness, or can you give me another verb?
That it could have insinuated that possibly is this related to anything that's come up before. While I don't necessarily land on that, but that it was a consideration. Let me read that again. That's a very weird sentence. That it could have insinuated that possibly is this related to anything that's come up before. While I didn't necessarily land on that, but that it was a consideration.
It's something that went through your mind at that time.
Sure.
Okay. Why was it important to you to correct that aspect of your testimony this morning? And Shapiro says, objection.
I want to really do my best to reflect and to be truthful. Shout out Jamie. And if that was sitting in me, that I did convey that correctly. And so that was the purpose.
Is there anything else about your testimony yesterday that you want to take the opportunity to correct now?
No.
Okay, you were in the room, the breakout room with the lawyers last night after the deposition with some of the other defendants here. And I believe your wife and Mr. Baldoni's wife for quite a long time last night. During that time, did you discuss the substance of your deposition testimony yesterday in any respect?
I don't believe so. We pick it up on page 166. They are back from lunch. Says the videographer. We are back on the record. The time is 1:42 p.m. Ms. Shaw.
Good afternoon, Mr. Heath.
Good afternoon.
Before lunch, we were discussing your decision to bring Tag and Melissa Nathan to handle the crisis communications. You had mentioned at some point Jed had recommended to you that you should consider bringing on crisis communication professionals. Is that right?
Correct.
What do you recall about that conversation?
I recall her saying that she doesn't do crisis PR, and this might be a conversation with a crisis PR firm.
Do you recall when that conversation occurred?
I don't.
Do you think it was like within several days of when you first talked to Melissa Nathan? And Shapiro says objection.
I don't know if it was in several days, but it wasn't weeks.
Okay. Did she recommend Melissa Nathan to you as a potential person that you could hire for the crisis comms?
I believe it was her, yes.
Okay, meaning it was Jen?
I believe so.
Did she give you any other names, any other people or firms other than Melissa Nathan that you should consider for the crisis communications?
I don't remember. She may have. I don't remember.
Okay, you can't think of any as you sit here today.
I can't.
Did you personally speak with Melissa Nathan or anyone from TAG before you decided to hire them?
I did.
Did you personally speak with or interview any of the crisis communications professionals?
I did not.
Did anyone at Wayfair ever speak with or interview any of the crisis communication professionals than Melissa Nathan?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Did you also ask, or did anyone at Wayfair ask Stephanie Jones for recommendations for crisis communication professionals?
I believe we did.
Okay.
Or I don't know if we asked or if they were just shared, But I do know that we got some recommendations from Stephanie Jones. I don't recall how that happened.
Okay, and Melissa Nathan was not on the Stephanie Jones list of recommendations to you for crisis comms, right?
She was not.
You were aware that Stephanie Jones expressly warned you that that you should not hire Melissa Nathan for this role, correct?
I was aware.
What was your understanding of the reasons that Stephanie thought you should not hire Melissa Nathan in this role?
To start with, I had a phone conversation. Remember getting answer sick me the question one more time, if you don't mind?
Sure. Do you have any basis to tell me, as you sit here today, that Stephanie Jones didn't follow your instructions for her to stand down after you told her to do that? Yeah, it's
Anyway, yeah, so he responds to that. I don't know. I can't recall anything.
okay. And after that point in time that you told Stephanie she was not to contact any reporters on behalf of Wayfarer Justin, did you have any substantive or strategy or other conversations or communications with Stephanie about Wayfarer's publicity after that? And Shapiro says objection.
After I asked her to stand down,
Uh-huh.
did I have any subsequent conversations with her
Yes.
about the positioning of Jones Works with Wayfair?
About Wayfarer's publicity plans.
Right. Not immediately after. I don't. When I say immediately, I don't mean within days because we were dealing with the current flames. But that is something that became apparent to me that there seemed to be no discussion on that at some point. Once I had learned, you mean during this time or at any time?
What I'm essentially asking is, after you told her to stand down, did you later loop her back into the team and get her involved, or no?
As I said, she's never been involved. Like
Okay.
it. As far as I'm concerned,
Okay, so you didn't invite her into the team meeting after that, and Shapiro says objection.
she was never a part of it.
Okay,
No offense to Stephanie.
understood.
I love Jamey Heath so much. It's like we was not messing with her like that. No offense, but she was not part of the clique. Yeah, she just never was. So other than some of these instances, but she was not part of the clique, yo.
Now, there came a time in late August of 2024 where Wayfair provided notice to Jones Work that it was terminating Jones Works. Is that right?
Late August.
Uh-huh.
I probably need to see an email or something so I can confirm the date, but for the moment, I can take your word for it.
Sure. Even apart from the date, you recall that there came a point in time where Wayfair terminated Jones Work, right?
Yes.
Okay, who made that decision?
Ultimately,
Uh-huh.
me.
Okay, why did you make that decision?
I mean, I think I expressed it before, so I'll just give you the short version.
Please.
I had come to the conclusion that I had lost faith. I don't like saying I had lost faith in what I believe Stephanie could provide. And Jones Works felt like, thank you so much, a place that we've been for some years. Changes happen. And also our point person who I trusted with my kids, oh, going back to the babysitter analogy, I just trusted her. And here she's going somewhere else. And this happens all of the time with agencies and managers. You have a relationship with Miss Shaw, another law firm you're at. Was this for me?
You're aware that Wayfair filed counterclaims against Jones and Miss Jones in this case, right? Oh, correct.
We are done. That was the most ridiculous
Line of questioning.
line of questioning. It was so choppy. Like it was actually kind of boring. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was hard to find my bearing.
And would you realize that this is what they're using for Blake Lively or Stephanie Jones spoliation sanctions?
Oh my god, that was so bad. Like, I don't think I've ever felt tired or sleepy during a depot read before. This was boring. This was a boring depot read. You guys, if you're watching, I'm sorry, but this was horrible. I mean, we pretty much
It
asked the
was
same
very
question.
repetitive.
We asked the same question on 10 different pages. And Jamey, how many times is a man going to say, I may have? How many times can he say, I don't recall? How many times can he just say no to things? Oh,
And
that was bad.
there was a point of questioning that if you saw, they switched it up on how they were phrasing the question because they were trying to get him to say no, 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 yes.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
and then he was like,
Can you ask it again?
yeah,
Because I
that
don't
question
think
doesn't make sense.
doesn't make sense. I love him. I love him. I love that he's alert, he's on. And I love that. And that's why you have your lawyer there too. And I love Shapiro objected a lot. I love the objections from Shapiro because I think, not for nothing, every time Shapiro objected, it was kind of a way to also let Jamie know they're trying to trip you up here. Take a minute, take a pause, understand what's going on.
They were really trying to get him like over and over and over again. And I'm like, ugh. It is pretty uneventful, but I think for the most part, it just speaks to Jamie's very thoughtfulness and intentional approach in how he speaks. I also do like, and I think that this will come off to the jury, that he's very sincere. And we are human. Like, we are human. I don't know what they expect from people, right? Like, but he's like, hey, that didn't sit right with me.
Yeah.
I'm going to correct it. And I feel like he showed us who they are over and over again. With Blake Lively, which is like, if she's not okay, then we're not okay. We want to make it right. And
we want to make sure.
Sorry, things happen. We're human.
Yeah.
Sorry, blah, blah, blah. Can we move past it? It's almost like I felt like they needed to ask, can we move past this? Or
can we move? Like, are we good to go? And even then, Ezra and Shaw, whoever, are still trying to trip him up. He's trying to clarify what he said, and you're still trying to trip him up and get him to say something he doesn't mean. He's just saying, like, I want to give her a nod. Like, I can understand how a person could feel this way, but that's not what we meant. I want to clarify that. And even then, they're still trying to make a case out of it. Oh my gosh.
So I think that will come off to the jury closing that loop on that, was that he is sincere in his communications and who he is, and I think the jury will see that too.
Yeah, I think so. I agree. Carol, I've kept you long enough. We came from TikTok to here. I'm tired. You're tired. My voice is coming back to normal. I think throughout this, it was getting better because I haven't talked a lot. So it was the cracks are going away. So I'm going to let you get some sleep. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you for being here. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a good day. Bye-bye.